If you've been running Facebook ads on your Shopify store and lately it just feels like you're lighting money on fire, you are not alone. CPMs are increasing, ROAS is decreasing. I'm even seeing brands that have had previously winning campaigns increase their budget in those campaigns and completely decimate their ad accounts. And that's not at any fault of theirs, it's because Meta has changed. In fact, Meta's rolled out the most important update in its company's entire history. Meta has moved from a data-driven platform to a creative-driven platform, and it's completely changed the way it optimizes its ads and the way it runs its algorithm. So brands that are structuring their campaigns in the data-driven method need to shift their thinking and move to the creative-driven method. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what this new creative campaign structure looks like. We're going to jump inside my ad account. We're going to set one up together so you can just copy and paste it into your account and get your Meta ads set up the way they want you to today. Let's get started. To really get our head around the way this new structure works, it's important to understand why the old one has actually stopped working. You see, the way we used to run campaigns in the past was we would create interest-based audiences. Let's just say I was selling coffee. I'd create an audience that was showing interest in coffee, maybe espresso and cafes and lattes and things like that. And then Meta would go and grab the data, it would suck up all the data from all the profiles that are in there, and it would be able to create an audience on the data that it had. And it would then serve ads to those people. It sounded really simple, right? But with the shift of people moving from Facebook to Instagram and all the privacy laws that are coming in, it's harder and harder for Meta to get that really specific data. So they've had to shift the way they've done it, and they've shifted it into creative because they're actually getting signals on creative. The signals that they're getting are crazy, right? So they're getting signals from how long you watched a video for, from start to finish. They're getting signals on whether or not you stop for a second or two on a photo, whether or not you watch a photo or share a photo. They know what you're doing inside your DMs, and it's all based around the creative. They now know the exact creative that you like. And you're probably seeing this yourself in your own feed. Your feed is full of the things that you like to see. And that's because they're taking every micro signal of you engaging with content. And I don't mean engaging by liking and sharing it, just by looking at it. And they know what you like, so they're going to give you more of it. And they've taken that algorithm and they've moved it into their ads. And what they're doing is they're finding their audiences for people that are stopping and looking on their ads. It's the signals they're taking in now is creative engagement as opposed to the data signals they got previously. And now that we know this, our goal is to create creative and structure our campaigns in Facebook around that creative. So let me show you what this new structure looks like. Now, it all starts at the campaign level, and we use a CBO campaign, which is a campaign budget optimization. That just basically means that we are setting a total budget for this entire campaign at the campaign level, not at the ad set level. Now, from a targeting perspective, we go exceptionally broad here, and we have no targeting. The only targeting we might put in place here could be region, potentially gender, but that's as far as we will go because we want the creative to do the targeting for us. Now, what's important here is we don't put everything in this campaign. You want to think of the campaign as like the targeting group. So we should be targeting people who are interested in your product or targeting people who are interested in your offer or an audience that you're targeting. So if I give you an example of my coffee product, we would create one campaign just for that single coffee product. We'd create a second campaign for a decaf coffee product because they're two different audiences and they're two different products. We want to try and capture the ideal audience at this campaign level. Then we move on to the ad set. Now, what you'll see here is I'm calling this ad set 1, and in brackets, I've done TOF, which stands for top of funnel. Now, we're not actually going to do anything at this ad set level to make it top of funnel. We just label it this because the intention is that we want this to be doing the top of funnel work for us. The second ad set we roll out is the middle of funnel. And then the third ad set we roll out is the bottom of funnel. Now, these are just names and they've actually got no behavior within the ad set itself. This behavior actually happens at the creative level. You see, different types of creative attract different types of audiences. So if you think back to earlier when I talked about the creative signals, right? Let's just say that someone sees a creative inside their feed and it's really engaging and it gets their attention. And it's the first time they've ever seen this brand. That's what we're going to call top of funnel because it's like, oh my gosh, I've just been introduced into this new thing. However, if they see something, they recognize it, and they're like, I've seen that before, that becomes middle of funnel. But if they see something that they've known before and then this tells them to call to action, then that's bottom of funnel. And those are 3 different types of creative. And by having those 3 different types of creative in your ad account, we're attracting people at different stages of the funnel. Something that gets their attention, something that reaffirms what they know, and then something that calls them to action. Top, middle, bottom of funnel, okay? I'll give you an example sort of what this is. So from ad set 1, top of funnel, we want to put a creative in that is, new and engaging that's going to get someone's attention. So we like things like a founder story as an example. Okay, or it could be like a 3 reasons why, or it could be something like that. So in our first ad set, we want to test that creative style, top of funnel style creative, and we want to put it in here. Now, the way we want to roll it out is we want to have one ad, and within that ad, we want to have 3 to 5 variations of that ad style. So we should have 3 to 5 different founder stories inside this ad, okay? And then we want to have content and headlines that go with it, all right? They should all be the same format. We don't want to mix video and statics together. Now, if we move into ad set number 2, we want to do a middle of funnel style ad. So this is an us versus them, or it could be features and benefits. It could be something like that. Now, the reason us versus them is good is because if they're seeing my product and someone else's product, but they've never heard about my product before, then they're not going to know who I am, and they're just going to bounce off and not know about it. But if they've seen the founder story ad and they're like, hey, I know that product, and then it's an us versus them, it's moving them down the funnel. And the same applies for this. We want to have 3 to 5 creative variations of this ad. Again, the same format. Now, this doesn't have to be static. It can be static. It can be video. I've just got a picture of a static there. But the key here is keep it the same format. And then we move into bottom of funnel. We want to have more of a call to action style ad in here. So we've just put an offer in here, things like that. But the idea is that the person that sees this should have already seen the other 2 ads as well. And this is going to drive them into action. Now, we don't need to do anything about this. We just need to create these style of ads. But you can imagine if you are only creating, offer ads, then you're always going to be operating the bottom of funnel and there's no education happening. But if all you're creating is founder style ads and all you're doing is top of funnel and getting new people in, you're not actually asking them to buy. So with this new meta update, we want to have a nice diverse range of creative so that we can be talking to people throughout the entire funnel. And then once we do that, the cycle continues. We see what's working, we see what's not working, and we just keep testing, okay? But how do we determine where in the funnel it sits? Well, it's pretty easy. There's metrics within Meta that we know about, right? So we're going to use frequency and CPM to find the funnel position. So we've got top of funnel, we've got middle of funnel, and we've got bottom of funnel. And the quickest way to do this is we look at a day-by-day level on where these ads sit within the frequency bucket. So if we think about the founder ad, that should be sitting at a frequency of between 1 and 1.15. That means that someone's only seeing that ad 1 time per day, and it's always going out to new people. So if we're still getting spend on this ad and it's going out to new people every time, then it's top of funnel. It's bringing new people in the funnel. But if we move to the middle of funnel, we think about that us versus them ad, that should be sitting at about a 1.3 to 1.5. We know it's correctly in the funnel. And what it's doing is it's showing that ad more than once to 30 to 50% of the people in our ecosystem. And then as we move down to the bottom of funnel, anything that's about 1.5 plus means that people are seeing this ad a lot. And this should be an offer ad and it should be driving them into a conversion. Now, from a CPM perspective, top of funnel, we're going to be seeing really low CPMs there. It means that we're continually going out and getting new people. They're just not highly converting ones, which means our CPMs will be really low. Whereas bottom of funnel, we're going to have really high CPMs because we're going to have high intent people in there, and Meta's going to be charging us just that little bit more money. So now let's go into an ad account and show you exactly how this is set up. In my ad account here, you can see that we've broken each campaign down by the product because that's what we're trying to sell, okay? So our vanilla bean product has its own CBO. Our latte kit product has its own CBO. This is targeting Australia only. Our coffee original has its own CBO campaign. And you can see when we go into this campaign here, we now break out each creative into where we would like it to sit in the funnel. Now, it doesn't always sit there in the funnel, but we want to set it in there as an intention. So we know an us versus them is typically a middle of funnel ad. We know that problem solution is top to sort of middle funnel. We've got middle of funnel, top of funnel, and then we've got some other ones in there like partnership ads and things like that. But we make sure these are in here to ensure that we've got creative diversity across the entire funnel. So let's set up a campaign together, and I want to take you through all the new settings that Meta has in here and show you which ones you should keep on and which ones you should turn off. So to create a campaign, we're going to click create, and we're going to make sure we choose create new campaign. And as always, we're always going to choose a sales campaign. We're going to click continue. We'll name the campaign based on what we're targeting. So I'm going to call this CBO and we're going to call it caramel because that's a new product we're selling. We're going to be selling that in Australia. And we'll just leave it like that. We know it's a CBO, it's a caramel product, and it's Australia. Naming is really important when it comes to meta ads and analyzing it, just so that when we look at the data, we know exactly what's working. We don't have to click into the ad to see it, okay? So call it that. Now we're going to go through some of the settings. We're going to turn off Advantage Plus catalog ads. We don't need this for this type of ad. So we're going to turn them off. This is a creative-based ad, not a product-based ad. We're going to set our daily budget. We're going to do a minimum of $50 a day. You know, some accounts I like to start at $100 a day, but don't go to $1,000. Start at about $150 to $100 where you can afford, but don't make it too low because then there won't be enough spend for Meta to go out and find you that audience, okay? So let's scroll down a little bit. We're not going to do any A/B testing. Now, audience segment reporting is a really good feature to have. So I've uploaded my audiences using custom segments, and this means that we can get even more information about where in the funnel our ads sit. So if you want me to do a video on how to set up these custom audiences, drop a comment down below and I will do those for you. All right, we don't need to change anything else here. We're just going to go to next. All right, now we're going to create the first ad set, and this is going to be the top of funnel ad set. Make sure that we name this correctly, okay? So I'm going to call this Flex 1 because we use flexible ads, and I'll talk to you about those in a moment. We'll go Flex 1, and we're going to call it Founder Story, okay? So we know that there's going to be a founder story style ad, and the idea is that it sits at top of funnel. Now, we can't guarantee that it's going to be at the top of funnel, but we want this one to try and get in new customers for us. We want it to sit at that top of funnel. Okay, conversion location is website. We want to maximize number of conversions. Don't apply any recommendations, right? These recommendations are only what Meta knows about Meta. It doesn't know anything about your business, so it can't tell you, what your ROAS should be or anything like that. So don't apply anything, okay? So just ignore that. Make sure that your pixel selected. The conversion event is purchases, and let's go down. We don't want to do anything here. Don't worry about scheduling it. Don't need to do anything in your audiences. We effectively just make sure nothing here is turned on, okay? So just make sure everything here is by default off. Sometimes the AI automations will turn them on, so just double check everything's off. And we're not going to use any suggested ads at this stage. Well, let's go to next. All right, so here we're going to create the first ad, and we want to name this ad again so that we can reference it. So we're going to call this Founder 1, and we're going to call it TikTok comment, okay? So we know which one it is, okay? It's a TikTok comment style ad, and that way when I look at this and I look at the data to see how it's performing, I'll know exactly which ad it is and I won't need to go into the ad. Scroll down to make sure that your identity is set, so your page and Instagram account is all set there. And then now this is where we're going to create the ad. So we're going to do a manual upload, and we're going to do single image or video. Let's untick multi-advertiser ads and keep going down. And the destination is going to be our website, and we're going to choose the URL. Now, we don't want this URL to go to our homepage. We want it to either go to a collection, a product, or a landing page, okay? So I'm going to go and get that for my caramel product. And then we're going to paste that directly in there. And let's keep going. We don't worry about display link. It's not really important anymore. And now we're going to upload the creative. So we're going to do setup creative. And I'm going to do a video ad for this one. We'll choose video ad. And this is the part where we want to make sure we turn lots of things off, okay? Because what's happening here is Meta's it's scanning your site and it's doing suggested creative. We don't want it to do that at this stage, okay? So we've got promotions off. Make sure that's off. We want to turn site links off because we don't need this here either. We don't want to give people too many options to click. We only want to click that one thing and actually go to the place we want them to go. We want to turn off the products at this stage. We're not doing catalog ads right now. We're just doing the image ads. So we're going to turn this off. And the way we turn this off is just by going back out and doing not connected. Turns it off, okay? Let's go next. What we're going to see here is all our videos. So I'm going to grab one of my videos. All right, we'll click the video, we go next. Now it's asking us to trim the video here. If you need to edit it here, absolutely go for it. I've already pre-edited it so I can skip and continue. So here it's asking us whether we want to create crops for each placement. Now, I don't do this. I keep it all the original. And the reason for that is because when we do that, it makes multiple variations of this video. And that means that we're not just testing whether this one video works, we're now testing whether this one video at this size works, or this size, or this size. So it's actually tripled the amount of variations, the amount of tests that it does. And it's going to get really hard to work out what it's doing, okay? So let's go next. Now in this type of ad, I like to put in 2 primary texts and 2 headlines and just 1 description. And then we'll just go, instead of learn more, and then we go to shop now. Now, just for this, I'm just going to go XX for you guys to get by, and then we'll go next. All right, now this is where the Advantage Plus creative enhancements come in. I like to turn all of these off at this stage. Again, it's just adding more variations to it. Now, in the future, these might become better and better and better, but right now, I don't want it messing with anything of my creative. So we're going to turn all of these off, okay? Right now, just turn every single one off. And we're going to click done. And that ad is almost good to go. So we'll scroll down, just make sure nothing else is turned on. Now in here, you're going to put your own primary text and headline. Now it's important that this primary text and headline matches the video or the image that you have in there. Think of it like a thumbnail and a title. That's how I want you to think about it. So let's keep going down and make sure nothing has been turned on our behalf, and it doesn't look like it has. And then once you're happy with it, you just click publish. Now I'm not going to publish this one because it's completely not finished. And then once that's done, you can then create the next ad. So we're going to click here, and then we're going to click duplicate. And we're going to go through the exact same process, but we can do as many copies as we want. So if you've got the 3 to 5 videos that we talked about, you do 4 copies. You would duplicate. you'd see those all come in here, and then you just go in each one and you would rename it. So this might be Founder 2, and we've got one which is in the kitchen. So we'd go in kitchen, okay? And then in the kitchen, we would go through and change that creative. We'd click Edit Media. We would change video. We would go to Media and we'd choose the video. Grab this one here and we would upload it, okay? And that goes in and it takes you through the exact same process. Go through, make sure all the enhancements are off, and we click Done. And there we've now got the second ad, and we just keep doing that as we fill out the ads. Once that's done, we can then publish it. Once it's published, we can then grab this one, we can duplicate the entire campaign, and then we do the next one, which will be the middle of funnel ad. And once this is set up, you're gonna have the perfect structure. It's gonna be one campaign, minimum of 3 ad sets, top, middle, bottom of funnel. In there, you're gonna have your ads. We're gonna let it run for 7 to 14 days. We're gonna look at the data and see whether or not the ads are behaving how we'd like them. We check out the frequency, we check the CPMs. And then we create new ad sets based on what we learned there, and we just keep creating new ad sets and turning off the ones that aren't working. But obviously this structure does require a bucket load of creative, and I got you. We have learned how to create hundreds of pieces of creative in like less than 5 minutes using AI. And if that's something you're interested in, then I recommend you check out this video here.